Namaste Galactic family, and welcome back to my channel Indigo Angel. Welcome if you are new, and if you are returning, don't forget to hit that notifications bell. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys for your continued love and support. Also make sure to comment and share and like this video so others can find out about my work. And today we are going to do a Lyran Starseed Ascension reading, somewhat of a global Lyran cosmic update, kind of focus in on some of these energies and try to really focus on where this cosmic nation is as a whole on a human level, on a galactic level, and also on a collaborative planetary level. As we know, it's several multi-dimensional systems that are running within these Stargate systems. It is several radial template identities that are contributing to the collective running reality fields on that interdimensional spectrum of our cosmic first galactic generation existence here on this earth. As we kind of dive into the thick of it today, we currently have a lot of hyperspace timeline warfare that is always playing out, and that what I want to say is about a 60-40 light versus darkness. I never want to say that the darkness is winning on this earth. We are, I would say, homeostatically as a collective, we do stay in about a 60-40 light trumping the darkness. This is why humanity is able to thrive. This is why we are able to push forward every day and the blessings that we have on this earth. And so, yes, we have a lot of hyperspace timeline warfare that is always intersecting, and we do hit those low points in the descension cycles where the thick of it really seems to play out in the collective fields. But that is because we are going through a mass global awakening. Everyone on earth at this time is awakening to some degree of their awareness. Even the ones that we feel are the most unawakened, they too have awoken, whether it's through simple things such as politics or just this last political party, the 2020 year of Trump, all of these things through QAnon, all of these things on some level, these things are awakening people to some degree. And so I would say globally, everyone is awakening on some level. We are hyperextended into the fourth dimensional reality fields. The time is out of the picture. Time ceases to exist. Many of us are existing in a non-linear fourth dimensional mindset of spirituality and internal and external growth. And so whether people are fully aware of that or not, there is an awakening process that is happening within all genetic ascendancies and descendancies on this earth, essentially. And so there is a lot of genetic repair playing out on a full 12-dimensional spectrum across all organic grids, all of the ancient grids, all of the ancient timelines and ancient equatorial planes that are hosting the previous root race collective reality fields and Akashic records. Everything is merging here. Everything is merging through these Emerald Order activations, through this awakening of Green Tara and the healing energy of Earth. All of this overlaps and intersects even into those inorganic superimposed grids that sit on top of the organic grid. Okay, so this is a hodgepodge of spiritual enlightenment, and everyone's on a different level here. A lot of releasing of judgment at this time, a lot of releasing of triggers, traumas, warfare, wounds. A lot is healing, a lot is clearing collectively, and particularly within global sites that have meteorite connections at this time. Really, that is due to the iridium-based metals and the tektite meteorite rock systems, and the extraterrestrial metals that are starting to really amp up in cognition on Earth. These metals do react to the magnetic field of the Earth and have communication systems through sacred sites and other sites that are carrying the same elemental makeup of that iridium or of that meteorite rock base, essentially. And so what this is, guys, this is creation-based technology that is exposing itself more to become more transparent to those who are ready to embody their galactic gnosis. And the meteorites have impacted this earth for over 400 million years. And through that, they have brought forth the protein, they have brought forth the RNA, they have brought forth the identity of our genetic makeup, essentially, and the advanced alchemical atomity to evolve life here on Earth. And so this all comes up through the summer solstice, because the summer solstice alignment is what merges creational realities with the earth. It is the merging and the birthplace of creation and earth. And so this is what this really represents. And it takes us back to creation technology, what has a lot to do with meteorite site impacts. So a lot of these types of activations are coming up globally. We have the serpent mounds aligning to the summer solstice, where the head of the serpent at the serpent mounds aligns to the sunset on the summer solstice. It's a very profound event that takes place. This came from the original earth builders of the earth, the ancients, the indigenous. So a lot of these activations don't just happen at the serpent mounds, they also happen at other types of effigy mounds, and also other types of portal systems or stargate systems. I say portal because it's not necessarily sure that some of the particular stargate sites that I've been talking about are stargates, just because of the ley line structures behind them. But I say they're stargates due to their connection to the meteorites, such as the Anunnaki stargate, the Kaaba in Mecca, Arabia, which is close to the Wabar crater, and that Kaaba stone, that black stone carrying that meteorite composition in that one corner of it. All of these meteorite connected locations are really going through activations at this time. And I say not transcendental type re-encryptions, but more of activations that have to do with creation technology. All is relevant as this creation technology transmissions basically disperse to the earth grids. So that also has a lot to do with the Stargate portal opening technologies through the lingams that I was seeing underneath Angkor Wat. They have 108 lingams, some of them made out of meteorite stones, iridium metals, and tektite type stones, where they put these Stargate opening technologies at these places. So we're going to have major sacred site activations globally due to this alignment. Also Stonehenge as well, as this site also has a very powerful summer solstice alignment that was carved out by the earth builders. So this site will also be in full activation come June 20th. Other things that I've been seeing on a galactic level come up is also coming through Shala transmission stations on the earth through a centipede effect of hyper reflection, which I do plan to make a video about soon, as I have had a dear Shala ambassador come forth to provide much more detail about this nation, and also as a support to this nation, as they have had a hard time incarnating into the earth. And so lots more being revealed here. Also, a lot of this is coming through the Orion Stargates planetarily, localized in that main vertical ascension column of the earth, dealing with the immensity of the collective ancestral bloodline battles. A lot of that has to play out for new revelations to come forward. But essentially all celestial nations at this time are contributory factors in total earth consciousness, working cohesively to resolve distortion and carry out the highest earthly planetary evolvement. So this is a total Lyran message today, as we all have had a play at hand here in the evolution of earth and of reality here. And the Lyrans do wish to remind us that this is an atomic war within the cells of our body. Every running collective reality field is playing out within the cells of our body. All of the genetic ancestral bloodline warfare is playing out within the cells of our body. There is no separation, conscious or unconscious. All is playing out within us. And so nothing on earth within the grids is really separated from our own genetic makeup, as we carry the extension of all life and all creation that was ever to exist here on the earth within one atom of our body. And so the Lyrans do wish to remind us of that, and that's why it's so important to tune into the Lyran frequency. Whether you are a Lyran or not a Lyran, this energy is a very universal system that works for many, many, many beings here on the earth. Lyrans have been around since the time of the Electric Wars. They have been a part of the first seedings on 7D Earth prior in its pre-matter state. They were here transmitting through the pre-matter fields of those geometric structures heavily from the 10th gate and up. The 10th sphere, according to my organic galactic celestial template, is really where those Lyran infusions start to enter the matrix systems here on the earth. And so they are really in a Kether triad with the Aquila nations and also the Cygnusian nations, the avian nations being the strongest and the oldest systems on earth, holding the oldest indigo records here. So the cradle of Lyra is a Sephardic empire, which means it's a very advanced race who created and contributed to the Elohim in the Avatar matrix systems. They highly work in that collective monadic template. So they are working extensively here in repairing the polarity body in the universal system. They focus mostly on repairing DNA from genetic damage, the original wars, the original viruses, and the original impacts on Earth that create those creatorial wounds here. Another reason why the meteorite activations are coming hand in hand with the Lyran energy is it's including creatorial damage. And they also work to heal the rips in time, polarized and fragmented timelines, distorted timelines, shadow and phantom timelines, harvesting of souls, and loosh from the trans-harmonic pillars and trans agendas from gender to anti-human spectrums. Okay, so if you are a Lyran, a lot of people ask me, what is my mission here? Your mission is universal. Your mission is quantum, and you are within the repairing phases of your contribution to collective humanity. So a lot of people say, well, can you be more specific with that? A lot of times it's within healing itself. It is within your contribution to what you do here on a collective level, whether you decide to come up into those supporter roles and assist others with that. Essentially, the Lyrans on a universal level are intricately dynamic within all spectrums of that. So your mission would be aligned to that some way, somehow. How you choose to express that here on earth is completely 100% your free will. And also what you chose here in those soul contracts when you seeded here, potentially through a meteorite. Okay, so just keep that in mind. They are holding the genetic keys essentially and are doing most of the work in hyper mutation. So they really do work to repair the damages here. And that's why Lyrans come through with such a high ultra frequency. They come to assist in the highest state of your existence. And once you reach that frequency internally, that's where they come in to push you, assist you, guide you, and make magic in your world, essentially. But I am going to get into a starseed origin reading for the Lyran starseed, and we'll see what the cards have to say here. Okay, Lyran starseed, so you're participating globally, you're participating universally. It seems like you have a lot of feminine forward momentum that's coming through, a lot of feminine strength. It seems like there's a lot of interest at this time for the pursuit of richness, the pursuit for business, the pursuit for success. A lot of accelerative motion here when it comes to your 3D human perspective that really has been fueled by your spirituality. It's been fueled by your ability to dig deep and really go to the core of yourself, work through the thick of those traumas, work through all of the manipulation and all of the dispositions that have stacked up against you over time. And you're kind of just cutting the cords. There's a lot of cord cutting right now to the shadow, the darkness, the things that have haunted you, the things that have followed you around. And you're pushing forward with a strong, feminine, perseverance, a non-logical, methodical, that's a heart-based frequency that's coming forward. And so there's a lot of divine power here. Feeling of security. There's a feeling of invention. There's a feeling of finding your true authenticity. And this is what you're able to really push forward in an accelerative motion of that success and of that drive and that hunger. It's almost like there's been a very transformative power that has come through where you've been able to take a lot of the thick of the galactic warfare and you've been able to use it as fuel on a personal level to transmute and to build up within yourself. And so there's just a lot of divine empowerment here within this card. It seems as if though you have been here, it seems like you've had some galactic contact that has come forward to give you particular information. There have been particular ETs and ultra-terrestrial guides that have come forward and have basically granted you specific confirmation on things. They've presented you in the form of a light ship, it seems. And so whether you are seeing those light ships in the sky, whether you're seeing them during astral travel, that communication's taking place, or whether it's just happening in conscious waking perception, that you are getting these direct confirmations. But it seems that your guides have come forward with profound messages of telepathy for confirmation on particular things that maybe you have seen as an austerity or even a particular vendetta against you. And so you are being asked somewhat to proceed with caution. You're being asked to take a step and just kind of inspect things before you dive straight into them, essentially, and just hold that innate wisdom and that innate knowing as to what you're being guided to do in these particular situations. Essentially, a lot of extraterrestrial contact has been taking place, though. I want to say particularly that it is from the Emerald Order. It is from a lion type guide. I keep seeing lions, white lions particularly, that they have come to assist you in making certain choices about certain things in your life. You're having to use a lot of your galactic intelligence to decipher and dissect a lot of data seed packages that have recently come to you, as you're getting a lot of transmissions from multiple star systems at this time. You are seeing things on more of that Lyran universal level where you're able to kind of integrate your consciousness into each data seed package and dissect the intellect and the information that is coming in. There is a highly held observative state, a state of purity and non-duality as you examine the data that's coming in globally and collectively. And so you're really being asked to kind of step up as a commander-in-chief and make executive decisions on things. You're being asked to use the divine feminine, higher divine feminine intelligence to do so. Also being asked to look through and beyond narrow-mindedness and make sure you're keeping your mind fully open to the cosmic integration of information that is coming in, as it is a lot that is coming from multiple different ambassadors at this time. And so you're being asked to re-examine the ambassadors in which come forward with information as well. You're being asked to look for the true highest council members and listen to the high council members speak. Okay, so a lot of stress is going to be relieved at this time. It's kind of as if the healing process has begun to really start to unfold, having gone through so much global planetary strife over the last month. A lot of the thick of the Orion Wars had been playing out. A lot of that stress and what it may have been taking place on in terms of your biology is kind of at the ending stages. And so a lot is going to start revealing itself in terms of healing, in terms of growth, in terms of your manifestation. A lot's going to begin to kind of take off at this time. It's as if there are groups, underdog type groups participating in Lyran reality fields that have seemed to overcome oppression. They've overcome the over-weariness of the falsities and the doubleness and the deceit and the wickedness. And so those pockets and groups of people are starting to gain more accelerative momentum within things, and they are starting to become substantive pillars of strength that really uphold the collective fields at this time. Okay, and so what once seemed like an underdog is now starting to gain momentum in their overall healing and their overall participation of global awareness, which all eyes are opening and awakening at this time. All eyes, and the more observers that observe is what creates that accelerative forward thrust of growth. And so the underdogs' eyes are opening and the observers are becoming more aware. And the Lyrans are assisting on this world, this realm, this level of activation within the collective as they want to assist more eyes to be able to see. And so a lot of quantum networking goes into those things, and a lot of information is getting shared because of that. On an individual level, though, you are being asked on your galactic individual ascendancy to dive more deeper into the quantum aspects of your DNA. You are being asked to really dissect yourself on an elemental level. You are being asked to look into the fire of your soul, into the earth of your soul, the water of your soul, the air of your soul. What are the elementals that create those tornadoes and those hurricanes and those destruction and devastational type events to happen? And wanting you to see yourself on the most quantum spectrum through an elemental viewpoint and step into mastery of your own self-dissection. And so that's kind of playing out for you as you see the collective realms gaining more momentum in those healing and accelerative fields, essentially. And so everything you do on a personal level, on a galactic level, on an ultra frequency level is propagating those more observational type labyrinth eyes to take root and to take place for collective healing. It's very encrypted in the way that the Lyrans work. That's why I'm speaking so encrypted. It's because they exist within that encryption. And they exist within the most ancient records. And so in order for you to really truly to be able to navigate between those timelines, you have to speak in those primal languages in which they flow. And they don't flow on a very obvious level of expression here on this earth. Their work is done in the most invisible states of existence on this earth. And it's because there is not a lot of pride here. There is not a lot of needing recognition for the growth, and there's not a lot of I need to be the person who's shining to be able to do the most quantum healing and the most quantum work. Most Lyrans are doing this particularly unconsciously, maybe in their sleep state. Everything that they do in terms of self-healing, they're making those impacts on the universal fields. That's really where the Lyrans gain a lot of the momentum, and that's why I keep saying this underdog type perception, but it's really not so the case. It's just that they're working so due diligently in the subatomic spectrum. There is a lot of forward momentum with the Chariot. And this is really about overcoming those battles of global warfare, that hyperdimensional warfare. There isn't a sense of overcoming. There is a sense of strength and discipline and control. There is a sense of elevation of the parts of the mind that may have been stuck in negative thought patterns. There's been a lot of eradication of negative people from your reality, a lot of coming into different mindsets that push you beyond the limitations of maybe had manifesting negative type individuals into your reality. And so you're transcending beyond these limitations. There's a lot of self-reliance here, relying on the self. Also, righteousness in that self-reliance, feeling good, coming into a place of conviction from a lot of the hard work that seems to have been a primary factor from the beginning of this reading, essentially. And also from the light ships that have come forward as well. There's a lot of galactic assistance here overall. It's almost as if fleets have been dispersed to Earth. Lyran fleets are now feeling safe and coming forward at this time. They're coming in droves. They're coming as galactic family, and they are doing sweeps, light sweeps on the Earth, light sweeps at the meteorite sites, light sweeps at the Stargate locations, and they are doing liquid healing, liquid light healing on the Earth at this time. Okay, so there's a lot of forward movement here, and there is a lot of perseverance over stagnation. And so where other nations may have been stagnant and wanting to move forward in global participation, the Lyrans are pushing forward either way. So they're coming forth. You might see more of a surgence of emerald light sweeps into the planet, platinum light sweeps, diamond light sweeps. All of this is being emitted through the Lyran radial encryption at this time. We have the Two of Chalices here, and this means that friendships are prospering at this time. Co-creatorship is prospering at this time. A lot of 5D art is going to manifest itself at this time. The global healing that comes through in these light sweeps will encourage those to do healing at sacred sites, come together for global grid work. A lot of rejoice and partnership that will be taking place. Overcoming and transcending quarrels. Lyrans don't have time for quarrels at this time. And we have the King of Pentacles here in my galactic deck. Okay, so a lot of wisdom and a lot of overcoming corruption. Okay, a lot of father type healing that's going to be brought forth for many who have prayed for protection, and for those who are seeking divine protection, that a lot of prayers are being heard on the spiritual realm. A lot of angels of the Elohim have heard a lot of these prayers, and it's almost as if fleets of angels are coming to Earth as well at this time. And so they're coming through as the Lyrans have asked them to do so. And so overall, it's almost as if, like I said before, that 60-40 light versus darkness is triumphing the Earth grids at this time. And the Lyrans are behind a lot of these powerful spiritual coalitions that will bring forth the command of this light ship power. Okay, and so a lot of perseverance, a lot of observations and patience that has had to happen for many of you Lyrans as you've kind of waited for the ideal time to shine, the ideal time to step up in your soul purpose, your soul mission, what you're meant here to do. But you are getting a lot of that confirmation through your guides at this time, a lot of wisdom, a lot of protection at this time, and a lot of overcoming and conquests to overcome, and a lot of spiritual assistance is really infusing everybody at this time who's really ready to receive it through the Lyran encryption, essentially. So a lot of resolution, a lot of calming energies, and a lot of comfort is coming to many of the Lyran starseeds at this time to assist them more with getting through the information they are receiving, so that way they can be an anchor of light here on this earth. I see a lot of Lyrans coming together, a lot of group work at this time. So we're going to see more groups coming together at the sacred sites, more of the grids being infused with powerful, harmonious type acts that will send those reverse reverberation codes into the earth to assist with the fragmented polarized fields. So we're going to see a lot of those static electrical polarized fields breaking up, and a lot more heals in time, a lot more healing in time. The rips in time are being repaired because of this collaborative type mentality that is coming forward as we head into the summer solstice. Okay guys, so I love you all so much. I tried to kind of go over that from a galactic human to a galactic level perception in the planetary fields as well. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to wrap all that up because the 3D is much different from the 12D perception. They are coming from this higher innate place, essentially. But I love you all so much, and I will be back with another reading soon. If you would like a starseed origin reading with me, you can find all of my services at indigoangel222.com. Please be sure to sign up for my website newsletter. Feel free to join me on Patreon, patreon.com/indigoangel. And I love you all so much. Namaste. Have a beautiful everything.